and welcome to d-Infnity Live number 26, the triumphant return of Michael Varhola, as well as Joe Charles from Comicpalooza. My name is Robert Gruber. Thank you for joining us tonight and enjoying the multi-platform, multi-publisher show to entertain and amuse you. Let me welcome our host for tonight. Of course, we welcome back William Thrasher. Good evening, Will.
Hey!
And the aforementioned Michael Varhola. Welcome back from your trip, Mike.
Yep, thank you.
And, of course, Joe Charles from Comicpalooza. Good evening, Joe.
Good evening. It's nice to be here.
Glad to have you. Richard is having some technical problems. He'll be joining us just shortly, so if you see him pop in, that's why. We'll welcome him into the show. So, Mike, you're back from your trip, but the website didn't stop, and it doesn't stop now. What's been going on the website this week, and what can we expect next?
Well, I've got a great feature that's coming out on the website. It hasn't hit yet. I expect it will hit sometime after midnight tonight. And I'm talking about something I learned at the Tower of London when I was in London this week. This was something that was kind of new to me. I guess probably a lot of our listeners have seen Game of Thrones and have seen this big throne made out of swords that appears in its imagery. Well, apparently, taking weapons that have been captured in battle and turning them into dragons or other kinds of monsters or thrones or whatever is a long-standing English tradition. So when I was at the Tower of London, I saw these human-sized figures made out of banded iron and a whole troop of baboons made out of wire, a dragon made out of muskets and swords. So I got some good pictures of all that, and I'm going to run an article on that because I think that's very gaming-oriented, the whole idea that you could take these weapons and turn them into creatures, automata in D&D terms. So that's going to be hitting the site. And then there are a number of other things up there. I just posted a great sort of dark character race, sort of a half doppelganger that our own Will Thrasher wrote up. That's posted to the site right now. Derek Holland, who everyone knows as our Basic System / Mutant Future game developer, has posted a bunch of stuff over the last few days. And Dr. Eric Lee, our staff physician, an actual MD, has posted a couple articles in the last week. So as usual, there's a lot of content up there, and it's all there for people to use in their games.
Absolutely. We want people to use our content. We make it up there free for you to use, so please go to our website, d-infnity.net. You can also join our d-Infnity Live Facebook page at facebook.com/d-Infnity-Live. You can also see it right down there in my underbar. So come join the conversation and be a part of the group. Let me also welcome Richard Balsley. Richard, glad to have you on with your technical problems.
Which seem to be continuing.
Which seem to be continuing, that's right. So we're going to continue on with our show. We're welcoming Joe Charles to the show. Joe, you're the gaming coordinator for Comicpalooza, which is a gigantic gaming convention in Houston, Texas over Memorial Day weekend. Skirmisher has a big presence. Kettle of Fish has a big presence. Tell us all about the gaming. What's going on, and what can people expect when they walk in the door?
Well, they can expect hundreds of hours of gaming entertainment. We have, I think, a nice variety of games, something for everyone. We have Pathfinder Society with role-playing games. We've got Skirmisher, of course. We've got various tournaments like Warhammer 40K, Hero Clicks, Giant War Machine War of the Stores tournament going on, board games for people to participate in. We've got your LARPs. We have our special gaming guest, Jolly Blackburn, coming in and running Hackmaster demos. So I think there's something there for everyone.
Yeah, we have a whole variety of games on the Skirmisher side. Mike, what are we doing? I know that I'm running Farces of Darkness at 7 p.m. on Friday. I hope everybody comes out and plays Pathfinder. But I'm not the only one running games. What else is going on?
We have got 10 people running Skirmisher games at Comicpalooza. We are running nearly 60 hours worth of games. We are running everything, and that's not even including Will Thrasher's Kettle of Fish live-action role-playing games, which he could talk about presently.
Oh, yeah.
But we're running our massive, interactive, little Orc Wars game where people can come in and play for 15 minutes or 15 hours as they see fit. And that is going to have hundreds of miniatures and dozens of models, and all the combat's going to be resolved with live catapult fire. We're going to have game designer Andy Hopp is coming down and just being a foot soldier with us. He's a friend of ours, and he normally runs conventions. And we asked him if he wanted to come down and just hang out with us and run some games. So he's going to be coming down and running some of his own card games that he's developed and published. We're going to be running a Mutant Future character creation tutorial, and then a Mutant Future module, tournament module, that is actually set at a post-apocalyptic version of a mall in Houston. So we have got just, great game after great game after great game. We are running them from when the convention opens on Thursday or Friday rather, until when it closes down on Sunday. So 3 full days of gaming, and just a great variety, and stuff run by people who run these things professionally at national level cons.
And Mike mentioned Kettle of Fish Productions. You guys do some really amazing LARPs, and you're bringing those amazing LARPs to Houston. What are you doing?
Yes, we are. We are bringing a collection of some of our best, our most favorite, and our most requested LARPs to Comicpalooza. The 3 LARPs we're doing. First is Battlestar Galactica. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. It's a Battlestar Galactica LARP based on the new series. That for people who are fans of the new series and want to know the specifics, it takes place concurrently with the first episode, or with the TV movie / pilot for the new Battlestar Galactica series. Then we're also doing Doctor Who, the Iron Beasts of London, which is it's going to be a Doctor Who LARP that mixes elements of both classic and new Doctor Who, that all takes place during the Victorian era in Great Britain, on the day that London's modern sewer works were first opened. And of course, aliens are aliens in the sewer. You cannot pass that up. And then finally, one of our absolute favorite games, Cthulhu Live Muerte al Chupacabras.
Yes.
Which is it's a Cthulhu Live event that's all based around cryptozoology and monster hunters and B movies, all shot through the lens of the Cthulhu mythos. And we're tweaking it as written. If you've bought the script online, it is available as a PDF and as a print book. If anyone who's ever read it, it's written to take place in New Mexico. We are making tweaks to it so that it takes place in Texas.
Oh, excellent! So that'll make it more timely and lively. So that's really awesome. That sounds great, Will. We're really looking forward to that. Let me also remind everybody that we're doing a live version of this show right here. D-Infnity Live Comicpalooza Special Edition at 5 p.m. on Saturday afternoon, and you're going to see all 4 of us on stage at the same time. Mike, Will, Richard, and myself will all be there. We're going to be having special guests, Jolly Blackburn, who Joe mentioned just a moment ago, as well as Andy Hopp, who's going to be there as well. And we're hoping to get maybe somebody awesome. We're still working on it. So make sure to keep an eye on this space and our Facebook page, and we'll have more. So more information for you. So let's go back to Joe for a minute. Tell us, there's a lot of games. Robo Rally is on Sunday. You have this huge full-size Last Night on Earth board game called LARP Night on Earth.
Yeah, that's going to be a really fun event. It's 36 feet by 36 feet. Jeremy Bullock over at 8th Dimension Comics and Games is running that for us in conjunction with the Houston Zombie Walk. So we've got people coming in to act as the zombies, and people can sign up to play heroes. We may even have some zombie slots left open if people want to try their hand at it. It promises to be great fun, I think.
I think so, too. Richard, you back with us? Welcome back. Nope, he's still off in the nether. No problem, Richard. Let's go back to Mike. Mike, these kind of conventions are huge for publishers and game companies as a whole. What do we get out of it as a game company?
Well, we get publicity out of it. We get bragging rights out of it. We get to test ourselves and take everything we're doing to the next level. Last year, for example, we celebrated Skirmisher's 10th anniversary party at Comicpalooza. And our party was so successful. Will remember that, as will you. Our party was so successful that Comicpalooza asked us to host the official party this year. So one of the things Skirmisher's doing this year at Comicpalooza is hosting and providing entertainment and comestibles and beverages for the official Saturday night party. So we're going to carry the gaming over into that. Some of our game developers are going to be doing demos at the party. We do a game with shot glass castles that we shoot down with our catapults, pulled off of the Little Orc Wars battlefield. So the party's something we're doing. We get to do some special things with a convention. So, for example, d-Infnity is a multi-platform game supplement. It is a magazine. And we like to do a special Comicpalooza edition every year. So we try to get content from all of our people who are going to be at the show. So we've got articles by Will. We got articles by you. We've got articles by me. We got articles by Richard. We've got articles by artist Andy Hopp. So we've managed to get articles from all the people who are going to be in our crew. Justin Davis, who's running our Ruins of Woebrook Mutant Future Mall scenario. We're running the scenario in the magazine.
Actually,
so it gives us a chance to do special things with our publications, to do some special prize support, to take scenarios that we've already published and tweak them for the special audience. It just allows us to have a lot of fun that we aren't able to have unless we're in an environment like a convention.
And actually, if I can just give people a taste of some of the content we're going to have in that special edition, one of the articles I've contributed is how to make a special code wheel for use in fantasy and science fiction and steampunk games. And just right here is just one of the code wheels that I've already assembled. So in the magazine, you're going to get all the parts to make the code wheel, all the instructions on how to put it together and how to use it.
Yeah, that's really awesome looking, Will. You did a good job on that. Yeah, I bet you it was. Joe, there's been problems in years past with gaming at Comicpalooza. I think that you've been made aware of these things, things like the noise, things like a lot of echo and things of that nature. What have we done? What have you guys done this year to help solve those problems?
Well, one of the great things about gamers is that when you ask them what went wrong, they're not afraid to tell you.
It's true.
So, we have tried to address those concerns in terms of the noise. Last year's amplified entertainment being in the same area was just unacceptable, and we've moved you. Most of the games are going to be on the 3rd floor. They're going to be in Hall B of the Grand Ballroom, which is a smaller space. I believe it's a carpeted space. It should cut down on the noise, and there's no amplified entertainment nearby. All the really loud music events and roller derby and things like that will be downstairs on the 1st floor, so you don't have to worry about that getting in the way. Another big complaint that I had was just communication, and this speaks more to the GMs than the players. People wanting to know how could they get into the convention and pick up their GM badge and find their table and all of that. So I've been making an effort to maintain better communication with the GMs this year. You guys can give me some feedback on how well I've done with that. And I still owe people some information on the layout and how to get their badges and such, but that's forthcoming in the next week, I promise.
Right, we're still 2 weeks out, so there's a little time to prepare for these sorts of things.
And Joe's been real proactive. I've been our point of contact for games, and he stays on top of me about stuff. There are things where I've been slow to get him information he needed, and he just follows up until I get it to him. So I am encouraged.
Well, I'm glad to hear you guys are encouraged. So that's good.
There are a couple of the problems we had last year, Joe. I was just wondering if they were things in particular you'd addressed. I remember one of the problems was that when GMs would show up, there'd be a room full of tables, and the people that were running things said, well, just pick a table and run your game. I wasn't seeing that work real well, because then when players would show up, they had no idea where to go. It was just sort of a free-for-all. Is that one of the things that you've looked at?
That has been addressed, yes. In the program, people will still see their games listed as, Hall B, for example. But when they get to Hall B, I'm hoping to have a chart made up because we have assigned tables. And so the tables will be numbered. Games are assigned at a specific time to a specific table. If there's nothing assigned to the table at that time, then it's open. You're welcome to just sit down and play a game there. But we do have assigned tables, and the GMs will be getting that information, and we will hopefully have a nice sign for people to look at as they enter the gaming hall to help them find things.
Good. That's smart. Sounds like you're pretty well organized.
I'm trying.
And that I think for gamers and GMs both is really good news. I think that sort of we kind of lost out last year on the gaming side of things, I think, and seems like everything's to normal this year, and that's awesome.
Well, that's the big goal for this year, is just to get things to where they should be and really should have already been, and then we'll work from there to make it better next year.
Excellent. Well, we're looking forward to that, and we will want to take just a moment and talk about our website, d-Infnity.net. We want you to check it out and see all the great content that we have on there, as well as checking out our Facebook page at facebook.com/d-Infnity-live, where you can find out all the news and information. We post weird stuff on there as well sometimes, so come and give us a like.
And Comicpalooza events are up there.
Absolutely. All our Comicpalooza events are there as well, so make sure to check that out as soon as you can, and we're looking forward to that.
Speaking of events, games at Comicpalooza, if anybody wants to actually view the full list and doesn't know where to find it, you can get all of that information on Comicpalooza's gaming page. So you can go to comicpalooza.com/convention/gaming, and all the information can be found there. It'll refer you over to our Warhorn site, which has the complete listing of games and times.
Great, and I will put a link right here for everyone to click on and go see the Warhorn, and as well there'll be links in the underbar below, so make sure to check that out. We want to get the word out, get all those gamers out. Joe, I know you guys at every convention is begging for GMs, begging for games. It's too late now probably to get started, I'm sure, but what about next year? What can people do to run a game for next Comicpalooza?
Well, it's much simpler than people think sometimes. Basically, you can either send me an email at gaming@comicpalooza.com, or next year we will again have a game submission form that you can use to submit the basics of your game, description, how many tables you need, how many players you'd like to accommodate, that sort of thing. And we'll just work together to sort out what specific time you're going to run it and get you a space allotted, and then you're good to go. And this year we're giving T-shirts to our GMs, which is a fairly standard thing among a lot of conventions, but for some reason we didn't do that previously. We're doing it now. We also, of course, give passes to our GMs. We do ask for a certain minimal amount of time in exchange for the pass, but I find that most of the GMs that are showing up to run games do more than is necessary, so I'm very grateful for their help.
You know, we are kind of a tight community, I think, and that's very apt for what we do. You know, we like to help out and make sure that everyone around us is doing good with their games as well.
Now, in addition,
oh, go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, in addition to the games themselves, I'd like to mention a couple of companies we have attending that might be of interest to gamers. We have Lou Zaki with Game Science Dice. He's going to be at Comicpalooza. And also Geek Chic. I don't know how many of your audience are familiar with them, but they make extremely high-quality gaming tables, custom gaming tables, and storage equipment for various game supplies. So they're also going to be there, and it's a great chance to actually see their product up close rather than just looking at it on a website.
Yeah, and that Geek Chic stuff, that's on tabletop, and it's really amazing. Those tables are really awesome.
Will and I looked at that at Gen Con.
Oh, right, exactly. And, of course, the Game Science guy, he's awesome. Mike, you've been to Gen Con a number of years. He has this, like, stump speech that he makes about his dice. Have you ever seen that?
No,
There's videos of it on YouTube.
When I'm at Gen Con, I'm focused, man. It's just, I mean, I think you asked me last year when we were at Comicpalooza, you know, where I was just running it. You said, are you always like this at conventions? Well, hell yeah, I'm always like this at conventions. Yeah, this is how I have to be at conventions. So now, you know, I'm sadly oblivious to other people's existence a lot of the time. So I missed that when I was giving my own stump speech about something, no doubt.
Right. So we're looking forward to Game Science. We're looking forward to Geek Chic. Will, what are you looking forward to? You're coming into Houston from Kentucky specifically for this.
Well, I mean, just in general, I'm looking forward to running my games. And the thing is, during the summer, you know, I'm a professional game designer and event organizer. So, you know, during the summer, if I'm at a convention, I am working hard to put on the best events I possibly can, and to network and to do all the other things that go on behind the scenes that make the gaming industry happen. And the thing that I love about Comicpalooza is that it's the least. It feels to me like the least work I have to do at a convention. Right. It has just this perfect atmosphere that's like just casual enough that, you know, I feel like I used to feel back when I just went to conventions for fun, and I really do appreciate that.
We got Richard back, so I want to get a question into Richard before we get too further along. You've been to a lot of big conventions, Richard. What are you looking forward to come Comicpalooza? And I think he just lagged out again. Excellent. I love technical problems. That's the best part, and I know how frustrating it is. So we'll hopefully get some input from Richard before too much longer. Joe, I tell you, I am just thrilled with the amount of games that you guys have run. And there's how many hours? 300, 500, 600, something like that. Insane.
Hundreds of hours. I actually have been so busy putting games together that I haven't had a chance to go count the total number of hours. I've got close to 100 GMs, I think, over the course of the 3 days. So you can imagine 100 GMs can put out a lot of gaming entertainment. And, of course, Jolly Blackburn, who's our gaming guest, is going to be bringing his electronic battle board with him. And he's going to be running demos of the Hackmaster's combat system at his dealer table or right next to it in the dealer hall. So even if you don't have time to catch one of his games, he is GMing a couple of sessions, but if you don't have time to catch one of his games, you can always stop by and get a demo. So that electronic battle board in and of itself is something very cool to look at.
Yeah, it's very well put together. I saw some video from it from Gary Con. He took it to Gary Con as well, and it's really impressive. Very high tech, very much the future, I think, of this sort of gaming.
And he's also doing some seminars for us while he's here. We've got the standard KODT live reading / Kinzer Co. meet and greet. He and his wife Barbara will be there. Also, I believe Brian Jelke is going to be there with them. So we have that, and we spoke about Lou Zaki previously. He also has some seminars that he's doing, including a special insider behind-the-scenes hearsay tales of the gaming industry. It sounds like it might be pretty entertaining.
Does sound that way. So if there's anybody that's on the fence about this convention, and you could only tell that person one thing about what's going on with Comicpalooza Memorial Day weekend in Houston, Texas, at the George R. Brown Convention Center, what would it be? Joe, tell us what it would be.
One thing about the games. I don't think I could come up with just one thing. There's so many cool events. We have 3D dungeons. We have live action board games. We've got your LARPs. We've got War of the Little Orcs, which is huge. We've brought in Card Hollow, which those of you that are familiar with Gen Con have seen. We've got that in there, and we're hoping we'll get to use some of your catapults to help knock down the cards on Sunday.
We're hoping for that too.
So, I mean, there's just a lot of entertainment there. So, come check it out.
We're really excited about it. I know everyone here is just thrilled to be a part of it. We're going to have a great show at the Comicpalooza Live Special Edition. So if you are at Comicpalooza, please come check it out. You can meet us, talk to us, shake our hands, slap our backs, whatever you like. And I want to talk for just a minute, just business about the show. I like transparency. I like to talk about things with the audience. So for a long time, I've avoided sponsors. We have ads that run on our YouTube, but aside from that, I've avoided having sponsors in the show because I don't like sponsoring something that I don't like, I don't use, I don't believe in. But we're going to have sponsors in the near future. One of them is my employer, actually, Dungeon Stone. Another is Tiffany Franzoni's Roll2Play. Tiffany is a friend of the show. She's been a guest 3 times now, I think. So we're looking forward to have both of those companies, Dungeon Stone and Roll2Play, are sponsoring our live edition. So you'll be seeing their banners. We're going to have some stuff to give away from them, all sorts of cool things. You're going to hear us talk about them in the future in spots, and I think it's going to improve the show because we're going to be able to get Richard into town, and that puts all 4 of us there at once, and I think this is a great thing for the show. And we're really excited to move forward. I thank you for your indulgence for that moment, and we're going to move on to the last word. And we're going to start with Will. Will, your last word for this episode.
My last word is Cattlefish Productions runs some of the best LARPs in the country. If you can't make it to Origins, if you can't make it to Gen Con, please make it to Comicpalooza and check out our games. If you can make it to Origins, if you can make it to Gen Con, you should still be going to Comicpalooza so you can get as much playtime in with us as possible.
Absolutely. Richard's last word is silence. Mike, what's your last word for the evening, sir?
I'll reiterate or add to what Will said. You'll be able to easily pick out skirmisher staff at Comicpalooza because we're going to be the ones that are all wearing either black T-shirts or black polos and khaki pants. So that's our uniform this year. So we'll all stand out. That's what we'll be wearing anytime we're not wearing a GM T-shirt when we're actively running a game. So come and see us and look at all the special things we're releasing. We're doing a special press conference on Saturday afternoon. Look at the schedule. I think it's 3 p.m. But we're going to be announcing the next big thing in gaming, as well as all the little things in gaming that we're announcing. The biggest thing we've ever announced as a company will be announcing Saturday afternoon at Comicpalooza.
And I know what it is, and I can't talk about it, and it sucks.
Yeah, you're under an NDA.
It sucks. I want to tell everyone, and I can't. Joe, your last word for this show.
I think I would just like to take the opportunity to thank a lot of the comic stores and companies that have supported us this year with not only with events but with prize support. I know Dungeon Stone that you mentioned is giving away prize support. We've gotten prize support from Asgard Games, Steve Jackson Games. I'm going to leave people out here as I try to go down the list. Texas Battle Bunker, just a lot of places that have donated their time, effort, and prizes. So come enjoy the fruits of our labor and see if you can find a game that fits you.
Absolutely, and I would just like to urge everyone, if you're on the fence, come to Comicpalooza in Houston, Texas, Memorial Day weekend at the George R. Brown Convention Center. We're going to have a great time. You can come meet all of us there. We'll have an enjoyable time. Looking forward to it. That's my last word, and that's it for the evening. So on behalf of William Thrasher, on behalf of the technical problems of Richard Balsley, on behalf of Michael Varhola, and our special guest Joe Charles from Comicpalooza, my name is, of course, Robert Groover. We'll see you next Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Time for another episode of D-Infnity Live.